What up? What up? Welcome to the live. Today we're going to talk about marketing, getting your cars booked 30 out of 30 days. All right, so without any further delay, we're going to get right into the masterclass today. So, marketing, getting your cars booked 30 out of 30 days. This will be an extensive video and live about marketing. And I know that especially for the economy, private car rentals, many people have questions regarding marketing. So I'm going to go over everything that you need to do step by step. That way you can get your marketing right. That way you can get your cars booked pretty much 30 out of 30 days. That's the goal here. The entire point of the private car economy car game is so that we can get as much bookings as possible. We can make more money and we can scale a lot quicker. Boom. So let's get right into it. So we're gonna start with the problem. The problem that most people have is that they have their cars that are just sitting. All right. So even if you're on Turo is a lot of daily rentals. So you have gaps in between the next rental. You have an extra day or an extra 2 days before the next customer picks up the car. So what I want you guys to realize is that on the private side, you can fill in every single day. And so that you don't have to deal with the cars that are just sitting on your lot, you're sitting on your driveways, and you can maximize your earnings. And another problem that most people face is that they just rely on Turo, just sitting waiting for Turo to bring you customers, to get your cars booked. And then on top of that, people don't make enough noise. If you're running a business, you need to make noise. People need to know this is what you do. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, how to let people know that this is what you do. And you know, there's a saying that strangers will make you rich, and that's very true. So the people that we're going to target with our marketing are the ones that are going to make us rich. They're the ones that are going to build our business for us. And these are the type of customers that we're going to target. All right, we need to know exactly who we want to rent our cars to. Niching down, that's the ticket. That's the key to scaling. That's the key to consistent revenue. And the first one is my favorite, which is the rideshare drivers. The reason why this is my favorite, it's a very underrated niche. Now, there are issues that come with the rideshare drivers. Like, for example, one, a lot of them don't have insurance. So you're going to have to deal with, working with a rental cover, Bonza, commercial insurance, kind of getting creative with the insurance with the rideshare driver. However, the rideshare drivers are actually low risk because a lot of them are good drivers. Because if you think about it, they've been driving for a long time. Right. So if they have been driving for a while, they're typically good drivers. That's one. Two, they're working. They're working on a platform. They're working on an app. So they have a vested interest in doing well, driving well, taking care of the customers that are in the cars or the packages that are in the cars. That and maximizing how much money they are making. So they have a vested interest in not getting into accidents and not doing BS in the cars. And that's why I like the rideshare drivers. Delivery drivers. Now, delivery drivers is also an underrated avatar because a lot of the delivery drivers, this is their livelihood, and you can make a lot of money delivering like packages, food, medical supplies, and people do this for a living. So again, they are invested in making sure that your cars are on the road because they don't want to be out of work. If the car is down, they're out of work. So they're invested. So these two are like my favorite. Now, after that, you have, travelers on a budget. Now, one thing you got to keep in mind with travelers is that they like more of the daily rentals. So they'll be very similar to like the Turo customers. However, you can maximize travelers, and we'll talk about that throughout this video. And then travel nurses is also another good one. Now, travel nurses is a very untapped niche. Like nobody talks about that. But if you think about it, travel nurses, they're professionals. They work. So they go from city to city, sometimes state to state. They're crossing state lines, and they're at a specific city or state for months at a time. So they're working 3, 4, 5, 6 months at certain hospitals. And if you can figure out a way to get in front of them, or better yet, if you can figure out a way to put yourself in front of their agencies, because their agencies are the ones that take care of the travels for them, you can make a lot of money in that niche. So these are the main avatars that we're going to focus on, and these are the main ones we're going to talk about. Now, here are the foundations to marketing. What you need to realize is that you need to have like a strategy. So marketing, you can't just like linear post stuff and hope for the best. Like you have to have a strategy. So we need professional listings. We need to make sure that we have a quality looking listing. That way, when people look at our listing, they want to book the cars. We want to feature all the highlight all the features of the cars. That way, when people come in, they look at it, they're like, okay, this is a nice car. It has big trunk space. It has a lot of leg room in the front or in the back. It has a 3-row seating, things like that. You want to highlight all the good features of the car. And then the platforms to list your cars on. We'll talk about a few of them today. And then optimizing for SEO. SEO is important. SEO stands for search engine optimization. If you don't know what that is, that's how you rank on Google. And then capturing customer data to retarget. That's going to be the key here. That's where the money is made. So starting with professional listing, we want high quality listings. All right. So what I want you guys to understand is that high quality listings, that's how you get your cars booked. And I have a Toro example here. See, I might have to unlock this. And I'll show you this Toro example of what a high quality listing is. This is actually one of my old listings that I'm going to show you. You want to have good quality pictures, and it's going to make me log in. All right. You want to have good quality pictures. So good quality pictures, that it makes a big difference, because that will separate you from other people who kind of lazily take pictures. And you don't want to lazily take pictures. So you want your listings to look like this, right? You want good quality pictures that highlights the different parts of the car. That way people can know exactly what they're looking at. So this is just an example. You can use, in the economy car space, we don't necessarily need like top quality cameraman, like if you were doing luxury or exotics, but you still want to highlight like the features of the car. That's the most important thing here. 2, use videos. You can't use videos on Turo, but for me, I use videos on every other platform, because videos are super important. You want to take a video to show like in real time of what the car looks like. People gravitate towards videos, and on top of that, because so many people don't do that, you're going to stand out immediately if you use videos. And then detailed car features. So highlight all the features of your car. If you have, like I said, 3rd row seating, mention that. If you have Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, that's a huge one. People love that. Heated seats, that's another big one. If you have sunroofs, so highlight all the features of the vehicle that make it more appealing to your customers. Now, here are the platforms that you need to list your cars on. You have Facebook Marketplace, and I'm going to go in depth on how we're going to do that. Instagram, Google, and TikTok. Now, all of these are obviously social media sites outside of Google. Google is an actual search engine. But the most important thing here is that we want to make some noise. We are here to make noise. All right. So starting with Facebook Marketplace, this is essentially what you want your listing to look like on Facebook Marketplace. And I'm going to show you guys here. This is my Facebook Marketplace listing. I have a video. The first thing is a video. The video is like a walk around of the car so that people can see exactly what is going on with the car. The car is good, right? This is in real time. They can see all the features of the car. And this is good because when the first thing it attracts them, that's the first thing they see is a video. And then they go into the description, right? So I put my price in the description. I put how much the down payment is, right? I'm transparent up front. And then we list the features of the car. This car has Bluetooth, it has heated seats, it has an aux, charging ports, right? It's spacious, it's clean. And then you want to have them, message you, whatever, right? The thing with Facebook Marketplace is you have to be careful when you're putting your phone numbers or your websites. Sometimes they'll remove your post if you have that in there. So I just keep it clean. Direct message us for more info, view our Instagram or website for more. Now, if they see that, they're gonna ask, "Can I see your website? Can I see your Instagram?" And then boom, and that's where we're gonna get to next. All right, so your Facebook Marketplace listing is important. Make sure that you have good quality pictures. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pictures in here, plus a video, so you can see, right? It's highlights of the features of the car, the trunk space, all of that. So you want to have that in your in your listings on Facebook Marketplace. This is what's people are gonna get drawn to, and they're gonna reach out to you and they're gonna message you. And then let me see if I can show the message in here. I might not be able to, but people will reach out to you. People will reach out to you. All right. So boom. Next one, Instagram. Now, Instagram is extremely underrated. We get a lot of traction from Instagram because a lot of people use Instagram. So Facebook is for a little bit of the older generation. That's for like, you know, mom and dads, like 30, 35 and up, right? They're mostly going to be on Facebook. And the people that are going to be around my age, I'm 25, right? So the people in the mid 20s to early 30s, most likely they'll be on Instagram. So you want to be everywhere. So if you have an Instagram profile, right, you want to have an Instagram profile, obviously. And the most important thing is that you want to utilize Instagram's biggest assets, which is Reels. Reels is how you get a lot of reach. So if you go into the Instagram Reel here, you'll see that we're posting Reels pretty much almost every day. It's making me sign in, but we're posting Reels pretty much every day, right? We're using memes, um, videos of the car, things like that. I might have to do it on a different site. I'll do it on a different site, but things like that. We're using memes. We're using funny stuff just to get reach, just to put ourselves into the algorithm, and that way when we do that, we can get a lot of views. More and more people can see that this exists. There's a car rental business here, and then as you can see here, right, I have the location, Maryland and DC. We have the phone number, we have the website. That way people know exactly what to do, and they'll know what to do once they see it. They'll know exactly what to do. So let me see here. Give me 1 second. Okay. Don't know exactly what to do when they see it. So that's kind of like what we want. We want to be able to make it easy for our customers to find us, and that's one of the easiest way to do that. I just realized that this is not showing, so we're gonna stop screen and then we're gonna share again. But technical stuff. But anyway, yeah. So that's kind of like what we're looking for. All right, that's the main thing. So I'm not sure why the Instagram isn't showing, but okay. Anyway, we'll continue. So that's the main thing. That's what we're looking for. We're looking to kind of build our social media presence. That way, people can find us very easily. Boom, Google. Now, Google is extremely underrated. All right, y'all need to understand. Google is a beast, and a lot of people don't put their business on Google. I mean, that's gonna be good for the people that know to put your business on Google, because if you have your business on Google, Google is a very intense search engine. It's very similar to YouTube. People look for specific things, and so they search very specific keywords. For example, if someone is in my city and they're looking for a car for rideshare, they look up, rideshare or Uber rental Baltimore, Uber rental Maryland, Uber rental DC. Our business will come up because we're established on Google, and that's kind of like where you want to be. So this is what our Google panel looks like, right? We have reviews, good quality 5-star reviews. The location is highlighted so you know what areas we cover. The phone number is there. We're open 24 hours, and we mostly obviously work by appointment, right? So if somebody calls in, even if we can't pick up the phone, they get an automated text. Hey, sorry we missed your call. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. How can we help? And then usually they'll text back something like, I'm looking for a car, and then we can take it from there. So the most important thing is, like I said, when it comes to marketing, is just make as much noise as possible. But when it comes to Google specifically, Google is a search engine. So when I talk about SEO, like search engine optimization, I'm talking about things like Google, right? So that when people search specific keywords, you show up on Google, like you come up, even if you're not well established, because it's so specific, you're gonna show up. So that's why I love Google. And then TikTok is also a beast. TikTok is like amazing for reach. So having that good TikTok profile, and I think we created this like 60 days ago. I'm not like, I don't know, I'm not a TikTok generation, but once again, TikTok is also a younger generation. So TikTok will probably be people in their early like teens to like maybe early 20s, right? So it's just a very different market. However, You put yourself across everywhere. So now we're on Facebook. That's for people 35 plus. We're on Instagram. That's for people 25 to 35. And then we're on TikTok from people 18 or maybe even younger than that, 18 to 25. And obviously, we don't take people that are younger than 21. However, it still works, right? It might be a sibling or someone that sees our page, sends it to their family member, whatever. The entire point of this is that make noise, put yourself across everywhere so people can find you. People cannot do business with you if they can't find you. Now, here's the caveat. Facebook Marketplace is gonna be your biggest lead generator. That's gonna be obvious once you start doing it. Like Facebook Marketplace is gonna be instant and it's gonna be the biggest. So the other stuff, you have to build momentum. So once you put your cars on Facebook, you're getting traction. Good. Get your cars booked and then build momentum with the other platforms. Don't just stop at one. The mistake a lot of people make is they stop at one. And what happens is when the car comes back or when you get more cars, your leads are lacking. You always want to make sure you have more customers than you have cars you can rent to, always, at all times. And that's important. So now we're going to talk about SEO. Now, SEO, search engine optimization, as I was saying earlier. What SEO, the benefit of SEO is that because it's a search engine, it's so specific, it doesn't really matter how old your business is. Now, obviously, there's levels to SEO, of course. The most important thing with SEO is that you rank for the keywords that you need to rank for your business. So this is what I mean by that. So you're going to use hashtags. First of all, first thing you're going to do is you're going to connect all your social media platforms to your Google panel, right? So you want to connect your Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or if you have LinkedIn, whatever, connect everything to your Google panel. And then when you're making posts, you're making videos, you're making posts, you're making reels, you're making TikToks, you're going to use hashtags. Hashtags will put you in the algorithm. So sometimes when I'm looking for something, I'll look up the hashtag to find it. I don't know if you guys do that. Let me know if you do that. But I'll look up the hashtag if I'm looking for something. So if you use the hashtags, when someone's looking for something specific, your business, your profile will come up. And on top of that, the hashtag also helps you rank on Google. So if you consistently are in the hashtags, when people search things up, when they search things up on Google, your Instagram profile may come up because you're in that hashtag, especially if you're top in the hashtag. So when you're consistently posting, consistently use hashtags because that will help with your rankings. 2, you pay for professional SEO services. Now, professional SEO services, what they do essentially is they create backlinks. Like they basically link your website with other websites. And then if they do that enough times, you will come up on the first page of Google for whatever keyword you want to rank for. So for example, if you want to rank for car rental Maryland, depending on your city, might be competitive if you have like big car rental businesses there. And if it is competitive for that first page, you're gonna have to pay for SEO because those guys are paying for SEO to come up with the first page. Now, if they look up something a little bit more specific, let's say, like for me, we do rideshare. So rideshare car rentals, I might still come up on the first page because there may not be many companies that do that specific niche. So that's the beautiful part of SEO. And it's actually cheap to pay for professional SEO services, believe it or not. I pay about like $50 to $60 a month for SEO services, and that's cheap, right? So you can find these services. There's a company called TopTal. You can look them up. They do SEO. You can go find SEO experts on Fiverr and Upwork. Just make sure that they have good reviews, good ratings. They know what they're doing. They'll ask you questions like your on-site SEO, optimizing, the back end of your website, the backlinks, things like that. And they'll help you optimize your website before going to set up your SEO for the outside SEO to rank on the first page of Google. Now, SEO does take time. So it may take you like 6 months to a year for you to come up on the first page. But once you're on the first page, your phone is going to be ringing all the time. So just factor that in, right? It's going to take time. So this is more of a long-term play. That's why I teach building an actual business, because building a business is about thinking a little bit longer term, right? So 1 year is probably still short term, but you want to think in 3 to 5 year increments. In the next 3 years, where am I going to be? What is it going to look like? So think like that, and then that way you can utilize things like SEO. Now, here are some of the alternative marketing that you can do to keep yourself booked. Partnerships. A lot of people miss this, right? So if you show up to hotels, if you think about it, when people book hotels, they're either traveling or they're coming from outside the city or outside the state. If they need a place to stay, they most likely need a car to drive. So you partner with hotels. You go to the people at the front of the hotel, the people that do valet. You speak to them. You make sure that you make a good first impression. Bring them something, right? Bring them donuts. Bring them merch. If you want to, you can play. You can do a double play. Make hats for your business. Bring them donuts and merch. If they're wearing the hats for your business, that's a good one right there. Now, if people need car rentals, they'll refer them over to you. Airbnb host. You can reach out to Airbnb hosts in your city and partner up with them to provide car rental services, and then broker. Give them a percentage. Give them 10%. Give them 20%. And that way, they make a little bit of extra money, and they're more incentivized to refer their clients over to you. Mechanic shops. Now, mechanic shops are a gold mine. I actually did this, and I had to stop because there was too much. Like, I couldn't handle the amount of business the mechanic shops were referring. Obviously, if somebody goes to a mechanic shop, their car is down. They can't, maybe they're a body shop. Maybe their car check engine light might take them a few days, a few weeks. They need a car in the meantime. So the mechanic is a perfect referral. The mechanic can say, hey, while you're waiting, if you need a car rental, I know a guy, and he'll refer him over to you. And that's an easy one. That's a very easy one. And also, most of the time with mechanic shops, the insurance company pays for it. So the customer doesn't even have to pay for it. The insurance company is going to pay you. All right. So just make sure that when you're partnering up with mechanic shops, build a good relationship with mechanic shops too, because you're going to need them to service your cars. All right. And a good mechanic makes all the difference. They really do. They make all the difference. Travel agencies. Now, this is for the people that want to do like travel nurses. You need to get in front of these agencies. So what you're going to have to do is going to take a little bit of research to find travel nurse agencies that bring nurses to the closest hospitals in your city. So if you have a Johns Hopkins, you have a MedStar, whatever hospitals you have, you can find the agencies that bring in the travel nurses to those hospitals, give them a call, and then let them know you can offer them deals. Go B2B, go business to business. Because when they bring the nurses in, they need to find them housing and they need to find them transportation. And you can go B2B, and at the very least, they can refer the nurses over to you, and you can close the deals that way. All right, so that's a really good one. Golf clubs. Golf clubs is a good one. Golf clubs is a very affluent space, right? There's a lot of money and a lot of successful people that go to golf clubs. If you think about the type of person that goes to golf clubs, so if you have more expensive cars, you should be hitting the golf clubs. Go to those golf clubs, speak to the people at the front. Leave some of your cars in front of there. Leave rent me signs there. You will get booked. I promise you. Golf clubs are huge. Golf clubs are a gold mine. So these are some of the other ways that you can market out your business that will get you booked all the time. Now, here's the most important part. Capturing the data. So, and people miss this. What you need to do is, once you have all of this information, once you have all these customers hitting you up, you need to centralize this. So you need a landing page or a website. All right. So you need to take them somewhere where they can see the services, because when people call you, the first thing you're going to ask you things like prices, how many days they can book, where you located. You need to have all of that on a website. That way the website answers the most frequently asked questions. And then you need to have a form, a sign-up form, a registration form. These are gold, because you can, once somebody signs up for your service, they're interested in your service. You can always market to them. You can also do text to sign up. Now, For if you're gonna do the sign up or registration forms, you can use Google Forms. It's free. Google Forms. It's free. I use Google Forms for a very long time. And when people sign up, all the information is stored. The most important stuff you need is their name, their email, and their phone number, and you can reach back out to them. That's it. If they do text to sign up, you can use text to sign up platforms that will store that information. It will ask them that their name, their email, their phone number. And then what you do with that information is you build a wait list. All a wait list is a list of customers that are interested in your services that you can reach back out to. That's it. Now, if let's say you have one car, you put your stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and 20 people hit you up. They go to your landing page, they sign up for the registration form. You're able to rent that. You can only rent that car to one person. Now you've rented that car to one person, and you want to go buy another car. You go get the second car. When you come back, you still have 20 people on that list. You can immediately get that car out by just reaching back out. Hey, I saw you were interested before. We have another car available. Here are some pictures. Boom. Your cars can stay out. You can buy cars and get them out on the road the next day if you build a wait list. So retargeting, capturing data, that's the most important part of marketing. Do not skip this part. Otherwise, you're going to waste a lot of your efforts. Now, here are some of the tips for success when it comes to marketing. So post on social media every day. Like, you should be doing this daily. You could be posting. If you go to car washes, post. If you're at mechanic shops, post. Post your offers. I got this car available. We do weekly rentals. We do daily rentals. We have this car available. Pictures, videos. Post consistently. I would say post daily, because posting daily builds momentum. Following up is where the money is made. So when you have new cars, follow up with your wait list. They're interested in your services. They're interested in more cars. So follow up with them. But do not spam them. Like, do not send them messages every day. Don't do that. Because what's going to happen is people will opt out when you start spamming. Don't spam them. All right. Don't just keep spamming them. You reach out to them. If you reach out to someone twice, I'll give you guys a tip. And I use this all the time. I learned this when I was in insurance sales. If you reach out to someone a couple of times and they don't respond, now obviously if somebody isn't responding, they're clearly ignoring you. But what you need to do is take them off guard. You can say, hey, I've reached out a couple of times. Just want to make sure you're okay. That completely takes them off guard. That works every time. They'll be like, yeah, I'm okay, just not interested. Boom. All right, cool. Now you know. Hey, just want to make sure we're getting ready to move on to the next customer. Were you still interested in getting the car before we move on to the next person? They'll respond to that too. So be personal. Don't be like a robot. Don't be robotic. Don't just chat GPT like messages to send to your customers. That doesn't work. Be personal. That's why I said get their name, their email, their phone number. When you reach out to them, reach out to them by name. Boom. Number 3, make good first impressions with your potential partners. I'm telling you, if you can make a good first impression, your potential partners, they will refer you clients. Most people don't take first impressions seriously. So if you go into a hotel, you want to go meet with the valet, take them some food. Donuts are cheap. You can get like 12 donuts for like barely $10, maybe even that. Take it to them. Take them merch, take them hats, take them whatever. Give them free stuff. They'll remember that. And you want them to remember you. That way they can refer people to you. Take good photos. Quality is important. So make sure your photos are good. Make sure that your videos are good when you're posting on social media. All right. And then create a brand people want to be part of. So whether you want to use memes, whether you want to be super professional, right? Like a suit and tie type, there's many ways to be successful when it comes to marketing. So you don't have to only do it one way. Do it in a way that's unique to you as an individual, because the brand that you build, that's what will last. That's what people will remember. All right. So marketing is the most important part. I would say prioritize marketing first. If you're getting into private rentals, if you're getting off Turo, prioritize getting customers first, because customers in that's what it's all about. Customers in, figure out the rest later. Customers in, think like that. Customers in, figure out the rest later. Customers in, figure out the rest later. All right. So that's the marketing class. I created a free Facebook group for you guys. That way, if I know some of you are in the field doing this on a day-to-day basis. That way, if you have questions, you can just ask the questions in the Facebook group. I'm gonna drop the link to the group here in the comments. But now we're in the Q&A. So if you have any questions, feel free. This is the time to ask me questions. Feel free to drop your questions in the comments. I go live for you guys, so I go live for you guys to ask me questions, things like that. So if you have any questions, this is the time. It's a Q&A session. Go ahead and drop your questions in the chat, and then I'll answer them. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and post the Facebook group link here for you guys to join. Give me 1 second. Boom. All right, so go ahead, join that Facebook link. That's a crazy looking link, but join that Facebook group. I open it up for y'all. Go ahead and join that. Join the Facebook group. All right. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask the questions. This is a Q&A session. I know a lot of y'all have reached out to me with some of the questions that you had. The name of the Facebook group, and I'm gonna redo this link here because the name of the Facebook group is Alex Auto, I believe, Alex Auto Community. So you can join the Alex Auto Community. That way, if you have any questions, you can ask me in the Facebook group. If you're in the field, you have anything that going on with your customers, you had any questions with insurance, you can ask me live, and I'll answer them. But this is the Q&A session, so feel free to drop your questions in the chat. If you're getting value, let me know too. It helps me understand what you guys want to see, what you guys don't want to see. And yeah, I built this channel for you guys. So go ahead, feel free to ask me questions. If you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comments. I dropped the Facebook group in there. If you want to join that free Facebook group, drop any questions in there while you're in the field. Maybe you have a customer on the way to rent a car. You want to learn how to go private rentals. Man, I love private rentals. Private rentals changed my life. And I know a lot of y'all are already on Turo. If you're already in the car rental business, like you're literally gonna make more money going private. Like there's no excuse. You're gonna make more money going private. I don't know why you wouldn't do it. So just figure out what you need to do to get yourself there, because going private, that's where the money is. You keep 100% of the revenue. You get to book your cars 30 out of 30 days. You have more control. You can partner up with hotels. You can partner up with Airbnb hosts, mechanic shops, travel agencies. That way your cars are always gone. If you wanted to push for clients that have more money, you can go to golf clubs. You can go to car shows, exotic car shows to be specific. You can network, right? So doing those things, that will take you to the next level. And it's very important that you guys understand that. And for the Facebook group, I'm gonna the first 50 people to join will get a free 30-minute consultation. I'll drop it in the Facebook group after this live. You can book a 30-minute consultation. So if you want a one-on-one time, I'll open up my calendar this week. You can do 30 minutes one-on-one time. Any questions you have to help you scale, let me know. And any questions you have right now, drop it in the comments. All right. So just go ahead and do that. Very happy to answer questions. I know a few of you reached out to me directly. And some of you guys are killing it, man. Some of you guys are killing it. And I'm loving the fact that you guys are killing it. It's amazing. It's awesome. The car rental business is a very lucrative business. If you think about it, I'll put it into perspective for y'all, right? Hertz and Enterprise have been in business since like 1917 or something ridiculous. They've been in business for almost 100 years, something like that. So what you need to understand is that there's longevity in this business. These big corporations, they're in this business because there's demand. This isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. Transportation is a necessity. And even during COVID, even when everything was shut down, they still allowed people to do food delivery. They allowed people to be driving for Uber, Lyft, DoorDash. They allowed that. That's how you know that it's a necessity. All right, this is essential work. So the transportation business isn't going anywhere. It's projected to double from like I think 7.9 trillion to 16 trillion dollars by 2030. There's a lot of money that if you can get 1% of 16 trillion dollars, you're set for life. So the transportation business, it's not going anywhere. This is an essential business. The average household is spending $1,100 every single month on transportation. The automakers, you're looking at Ford, Chevy. These are just the American. You're looking at Toyota, Honda. These businesses have been there for years. And so there's longevity there. There's a reason why people are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars every single year on transportation, because it's necessary. It's needed. It's not a luxury. If you're looking at like the beauty industry, that's a luxury. People really only do that when they have extra money. But when it comes to transportation, it's budgeted in. If I ask y'all on this live, how much money have you spent, let's say buying a car, fixing a car, taking an Uber, paying for DoorDash, Uber Eats, right? So it's an essential business and everybody needs it. And it's very important, especially those of you that are already in the business, it's very important for you to understand that you're on the right side. There's two types of people. There's consumers and there are producers. The people that make money, they're the producers. You're putting yourself on the producer side to benefit from all the money that's being spent already in the transportation business. The money is going to get spent. The question is, are you going to get some of it? You put yourself in the right place, you're going to get a lot of it because it's going to be a $16 trillion business. It's not going anywhere. There are new platforms that come out every day. Uber, Lyft, DoorDash. These are just the most popular ones. There's things like Amazon Flex, Roadie. People deliver medical supplies. People use cargo vans, sprinter vans. The transportation business is huge. We're only scratching the surface. Like being on Turo, that's not even scratching the surface. Turo is and I'll put you in perspective again. Turo is $1 billion business and they don't even own any cars. They own no cars and they are $1 billion business. That's how big the transportation industry is. You have places like Hire Car, Get Around, that have gone out of business because they didn't have good risk management. They got too greedy. They ran out of their insurance bag. So you position yourself the right way. You have your risk management in place. You can benefit from the spending that's going to happen anyway. I want y'all to think about that. And especially if you're already on Turo. If you're already on Turo, it's going to be an easy transition. Trust me. You already understand the business. You already understand taking pictures, working with customers, dealing with claims. You already kind of get it. So being able to do the transition, that allows you to scale. And if you think about it, if you're renting cars for $350 a week to people that need the cars for 3-4 months at a time, that's $1,400 a month. 10 cars is $14K. 100 cars, that's $140,000 a month. So that's the way that you need to think, right? So that you can benefit from what's happening. You can benefit from the money that's going to be spent anyways, because that's what it's about. We're in an essential business. It's not going to go anywhere. So that's why I love this business. Like my car rental business, that's essentially my cash flowing machine. That's how I look at it. It's a cash flowing machine. All I got to do, I have everything set up. I buy a car and I just plug it in. Next one, plug it in. Next one, plug it in. Because I know the car is going to go and make money. It's going to cash flow. And that's the beautiful part. It's just a cash flowing machine. Compared to other industries like real estate, I'll give you all some game. So if you go buy a car for, let's say, $5,000, an economy car, 5K. You buy that car, it rents for, let's say, $1,500 a month. It's going to take you 3.5 months to get 100% return. What other industry are you getting that? You're not getting that anywhere else. You're not getting that in real estate. It takes at least 18 months to get. Most real estate professionals are happy to get 10% cash on cash return every year. You can do 100% with the car rentals. All right. My guy, Ollie Mack says, to start off with my first car, is it okay to buy 100K miles on it for $5,000-$6,000? Would you recommend this? Yeah, absolutely. That's what I would actually recommend. 5 or 6,000, that's a good spot. 100,000 miles, that's actually good. The last car I bought had 200,000 miles. So that, if that puts it into perspective for you, it was a Honda Civic. And I know that car is reliable. I can probably go another 200,000 miles. So that's perfect. That's what I tell you guys to do. Buy the cars for as cheap as possible, 5,000-6,000. Make sure the car is reliable and it's in good mechanical condition. So whatever you got to do to make sure it is before you pull the trigger, whether you want to take a mobile mechanic, whether you want to do a pre-purchase inspection, if you have experience with cars, you will know what to look for. I've done it so much, I know what to look for. So if that car is in bad, if it has a bad engine, bad transmission, that's typically where the most expensive stuff is. So you can avoid that. If you got to fix a few other things, cool. You're still winning. Even if you spend an extra $1,000 in repairs, you're in $7,000. You can make your money back in 5 months. So I 100% recommend that. That's the way to go. All right, that's a good question. Ali Mack, how many cars do you have? I know I've seen you a couple of times on the live. How many cars do you have? But yeah, that's the beautiful part about this game. And the car rental space can't be oversaturated because we're all in different cities across the United States. It can't be oversaturated because we understand how to run marketing, we understand how to niche down, and we understand how to beat the competition. It can't be oversaturated because it's such high demand. I'll give you an example. When you go to every single airport in America, don't you find Hertz? Don't you find Enterprise? So how can it be oversaturated? They're everywhere. You find like 5 of them sometimes. You find Dollar, Hertz, Enterprise. I can't remember all of them. There's usually like 5 of them, and they're all in the same airport. So that tells you something. Dammy says, you'd mentioned kill switch as a way to prevent theft. Which ones are the best in your opinion? The one I use is Gold Star by Experian. They have like a state-of-the-art system. And you can purchase them in bulk. I usually buy them 5 at a time for about $600. So that's a little bit over $100 each. So those are the ones I use. So I'm going to think that one is the best. There are many more out there, but as long as it has a remote kill switch, they also call it a starter kill. You want to have that. Trust me. Most of the time, I don't even use my kill switches. That's the thing. Like, you have good risk management when you don't have to use them. But once in a while, I do. So, like the last time I used it was probably a month ago or something like that. So, but you want to have it definitely before you need it. Is that type of situation? It's like being able to fight. You want to know how to fight before you get into a fight. So, yeah, definitely have that in there. And a lot of like what I see, and I see, some of the stories from Turo hosts, because a lot of times people think that they're protected by Turo, but Turo can't really do anything. Like I've had my car stolen before while it was on Turo, and if I didn't have the kill switch, like if I was like most people that were like, oh, Turo will handle it, I would have never seen that car again. And here's the crazy part. It wasn't Turo's customer that stole the car. The car was stolen in the middle of the night in her neighborhood. So Turo probably wouldn't have paid me out. In fact, they didn't even help me when it came to the car, even though it was in their customer's possession. Technically, it was in their customer's possession, but because the customer didn't steal the car, she called me at like 4 a.m. that the car is gone. Because of that, they weren't going to help me, and they definitely weren't going to pay out, because they would say, well, it wasn't their customer, the car was stolen, and it wasn't their customer. Well, what was I going to be able to do? Nothing. So because I had triggers and kill switches, I found the car. Otherwise, the car would be gone. In fact, I still have that car to today. That car has been with me for 2 years. That car has made me a lot of money. So that it was a 2014 Kia Optima, and I bought that car for like $8,000, and I've had it for 2 years. That car has made well over like $20,000 in that time. So if you have good cars that are mechanically sound, they don't break down, they don't go bad, they will make you a lot of money over its lifetime. And the goal is to have as many. So the money is made in volume. The goal is to have as many of it as possible. And I'm still buying. I buy cars every month because I'm taking this thing to 100 cars. Why not? I can do it. And 100 cars on the road, that can retire me. So that's how you guys should think in scale. Like I said, 3 to 5 years. I think in 3 to 5 year increments. And I plan, everything is planned in 3 to 5 years. So the small stuff, obviously things happen right on a day to day that I don't like. Sometimes people don't pay on time. I don't like that. I charge them a late fee. I make extra money from that. Sometimes I have to repossess cars. I don't like that because it takes my time, my effort to go take the car back. But because I understand, I have a long-term vision for it. When the small things happen on a day-to-day, I just keep going. It's minuscule in the grand scheme of things. It's minuscule in the bigger picture. It's just a bump in the road. So thinking in a little bit of long-term will make it easy for you on a day-to-day basis. And I started this business. One of the things I really didn't like was taking phone calls. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to hire somebody. So I hired a virtual assistant, $3 an hour. They take all my phone calls. They follow up on all the leads. So when you get to that point, there's the things that you don't like in the business, outsource it. When you outsource this, it's better for the business because now somebody more enthusiastic than you is doing that part, especially if it's customer facing. And that gives your business a better light. My guy, Ollie Max says, I have one car. Where do I store all the pictures that I take of the car on my phone? That's a lot of pictures. Yeah, good question. So you can use an app called Imager, Imgur, on the App Store. You can store all your pictures there. And the best part about that is that you can create a link to the picture. So let's say you take pre-rental pictures, like similar to Turo. You can create a link to those pre-rental pictures. And then when you send your customer a post-rental message, we do post-rental messages. You can add the link to the pictures on Imager. And they also get the link to the pictures. So you don't have to keep them in your phone. It is a lot of pictures. It's a lot of pictures. So like sometimes I go through my phone and I'm like, why do I have so many car pictures? But I started using that Imager app and I can just delete it off my phone and they're always on the app. So yeah, download that for sure. That's a good question. That's a very niche day-to-day question. So I know you're in the weeds, Ollie Mac. I know you're in the weeds. You're in the trenches. But yeah, guys. I created a free Facebook group. So the links. I couldn't really create a link for it because it looked a little crazy. So the name of the Facebook group is Alex Auto Community. Go ahead, sign up for the Facebook group, and ask all your questions in there. The first 50 people to join the Facebook group, I'll do a free consultation. So if you want to do it's going to be 30 minutes. Fortunately, I can't do much longer than that because I'm busy also. So 30 minutes for free, first 50 people, and then I'll take it down. I'll post it into the community after this live, and I'll take it down after 50 people have joined. So first 50 people, the first lucky ones. And then once we build the community up a little bit, there'll be a lot of value put it in there on a day-to-day basis. Um, I know some of you guys are in the weeds, day-to-day operations. So if you have any questions on a day-to-day operations, it's going to be easy for me to answer you in the group, um, because I'm going to be invested in there. So it is my community. My goal is to build that community up, so that I can provide as much value as possible. And I know that, a lot of you guys are killing it. And I love that. So just keep building. Have your 3 to 5 year plan. That's the most important. Have the long-term plan. Keep that in your mind. That way, when things happen on a day-to-day basis, like, you don't have to worry so much. You don't feel put off, because there are some days that are going to be hard, right? Being honest, I have some very hard days, and I have some very great days. There are some days where, boom, I get like 4 rentals in a day. That's a lot of money that hits the bank account at once. That's a good day. There are some days where I'm having to go repossess 2, 3 cars. Very time consuming. I hate those days, but it must be done. And I'm thinking long term. So at some point, you want to build your business to a point where two things, right? And I want you guys to keep this in mind before I jump off the live here. And I'll jump off in a few minutes. So if you have any questions, definitely drop it in the chat. 2 things when you're building a business. You either want to build the business to sustain you for the rest of your life, or to sell it. Because most businesses don't last forever. The average business hits peak for 5 years. 5 years, the average business peaks. So you want to put the business in a position where you can sell it. And whatever valuation you want for that business, you can build it to that. So if that's your 5-year plan, you can build up. If you want to sell your business for $5 million, okay, go look at all the car rental businesses that have sold for $5 million in the last 5 years. What did they have? Can I build that into my car rental business? Get your business there and sell it. You just made $5 million. It's that is very possible. That is very possible. Don't put any limitations on what you can do. Because if you have the long-term plan, it just takes day-to-day activities to get there. It just takes the day-to-day actions to get there. That's it. So if your goal is to build a business to sustain you for the rest of your life, you want to outsource, build till you can get a physical location. Build till you can go get a commercial property and hire employees. The employees do all the work. You can travel. You want to travel? If that's your goal, cool, you can travel. You want to build it till you sell the business? Build it till you sell the business. Once you hit the valuation where you can sell it at, then go sell it at. But that's the beautiful part about building a real business. There are people that have like 30 cars on Turo. That's not a business. You can't sell it. You can't sell it because you don't own the customer data. You don't own the systems. You don't own the day-to-day operations. Turo does. Turo can sell their business because they own that. When you're selling a business, the data is the most valuable part of the business. Obviously, the assets are also valuable, but the data is the most valuable, and then the assets. So build your business, set your long-term goal, build your business into the long-term goal, and then cash out or sustain it. All right, that's all I got for you guys. If there are no more questions, I appreciate you joining the live, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I am really grateful. And my goal here is to build this community. So feel free to join the Facebook group. The first 50 people to join get a free 30-minute consultation. After the 50th person has joined, I will go ahead and take that link down. So yeah, let's see. My guy Ollie Mack says, to sign the pink slip in my business name, I put my business name in the space where I would put my name. Give me more context here. To sign the pink slip, what do you mean by pink slip? I'm not sure what you mean by pink slip, Ollie. I put my business name in a space where I would put my name. So are you talking about registering your car? If you're talking about registering your car, then the answer is going to be different. So let me know what your question is in relation to. That way I can answer it for you. All right. But like I said, again, I appreciate you all for joining. Oh, you're registering your car? Cool. Okay. So if you're looking to register your car, all you need to do is go to the MVA and say you're registering your business. You're gonna need your articles of organization and your EIN number. So you have to print the document out, print that document out, and then go to the MVA, and they'll tell you what to do. Now, um, it is a little bit different. So you have to use your business information. So like instead of your social security, you have to use your business. They'll give you something called a Soundex number for your business at the MVA, where you register all your cars under that Soundex number. So yeah, that's essentially what you need. Hopefully that answered your question. What's up, Dominique? I already have 6 cars on Toro. How do I start a private rental? Man, I've made a whole bunch of videos on how to start a private rental, but here's the basics of it. The first thing you need to do is do marketing. I did the entire live on marketing today. But that's the very first thing you need to do is marketing. All right. You need to get customers in for the private rental side. Number one, boom. Once you have marketing, you have people hitting you up. And I'm going to do an overview here. Once you have people hitting you up, then you want to go set up your operations. So you want to have your car rental software. Your car rental software will allow you to be able to create, put your rental agreement in, send that to the customers for them to review and sign. You can create reservations in there. So you put your car info, car pictures, you put the customer info, the customer's driver's license, insurance. You send them the agreement. They sign your agreement. You can send them invoices out of there so they can pay you. You need a Stripe account. The Stripe account will allow you to do identity verification. All right. Once you can do identity verification, you can weed out the people that will give you fake IDs. Very important. Then once all of that is in check, obviously you rent the car. But before that, you want to make sure your cars have kill switches, trackers, and all of that. So I don't know whether you have that already. As a Turo host, a lot of Turo hosts don't. But I've made a lot of videos regarding that. So check out the channel. If you're new here, I think this might be the first time I'm seeing your name. So if you're new here, check out the channel. I create a free Facebook group. So if you have more questions, feel free to join the free Facebook group. It's called Alex Auto Community. The first 50 people to join the group will get a free consultation, 30 minutes. All right. After the 50th person joins, I will take down that link. So join the group. I'll go ahead and drop the consultation link in the community, and then you can ask more questions there. But if you're new here, welcome. This is the channel where I teach you how to go from Toro to private rental so you can build an actual business. My guy Ollie Mack says, is it okay for me to buy a cash car in my personal name, then sign it to my business name at the DMV? So if you buy a cash car, it won't. So when you go buy a car, let's say you buy a car from a private seller, they will give you the title. They may give you a bill of sale also. If they or either or both is fine. Once you have that, you take the title, the bill of sale, and or the bill of sale to the MVA. When you get to the MVA, you tell them, hey, I want to register this in my business. That's when they'll ask you for, your articles and your EIN. So you don't necessarily put it in your personal name first, if that makes sense. If you're buying it cash at the dealership, tell them you want to register it in your business name. And then they'll ask you for the same thing. They'll ask you for your EIN number. They'll ask you for your articles of organization. And then provide them those documents. Right? I wouldn't put it in my personal name first, because that's going to create a headache for you to do it again, because the title is going to be your personal name. Then you got to go back and fix that. And that's extra fees on top of that. So just do it straight into your business name. But yeah, good question. Hopefully that answered your question. Let me know. Let me know before I jump up. I want to make sure that your questions are answered. Good question. Good question. My guy Dominique says, I have a tracker, but not a kill switch. Okay. Well, here's what I will say. If you have a tracker, but not a kill switch, I wouldn't recommend it, but you could still use it. So what I would recommend is that you go and get a tracking system with the kill switch in it. I recommend Gold Star by Experian, but there's a whole bunch of them. There's Trackhawk GPS. That's another one that has a kill switch. The reason why you want a kill switch is because you want to be able to stop the car. That's your ultimate leverage. You don't want to have a car that you can't stop. So if they're trying to take your car out of state, they're trying to take your car out of the country, you can stop the car. Very important. So I don't want to like tell you that it's okay because it's not. So make sure you get a kill switch. I would recommend a kill switch. If you want recommendations for a kill switch, Gold Star by Spirion, Trackhawk GPS. Those two are great. Um, they they both have starter kills and they're remote starter kills, so you can kill switch the car from your phone. It's gonna cost you a bit of money since you already have 6 cars. I would go to Gold Star and just buy 5. I'll go buy 6 of them from Gold Star and just go install them in your cars. It's a little bit of a startup cost, but it's essential for switching to private. And even on Turo, bro, because people get. Here's the thing, right? People still steal cars on Turo. Don't get it twisted. If you don't have a kill switch, that's a lot of risk to take to put your car to rent your cars to anyone, regardless of the platform. And depending on what state you're in, it might be even worse that you don't have a kill switch. Like if you're in the South, you're in Texas, you're in Florida, bro, people steal cars like crazy in those states. So I don't know what state you're in, but I would recommend you go get a kill switch, bro. All right. So that's my answer to that question. Go get a kill switch. You're in Atlanta? Oh no. You need you don't do private rentals without a kill switch in Atlanta, bro. Don't do it. I'm gonna save you a whole bunch of money right now. Don't do it without a kill switch in Atlanta. 100%. All right, that's just my honest opinion. You shouldn't be doing it on Turo either without it. It's good that you have trackers though. At least you can know where the cars are. That definitely helps. But the kill switch is like worst case scenario. It's like you want to know how to fight before you get into a fight. You don't want to get into a fight and then start figuring out how to fight. At that point, it's too late. And I don't want you in a situation where it's too late. So I would say put a kill switch in your cars. You've gotten yourself to 6 cars. Congratulations. That's amazing. That's huge. So just take the extra step and get it there. Of course, man. Of course. All right. That's what I'm here for. All right. So that's it. I appreciate you guys for joining the live. As always, I love doing this stuff. Thank you for your questions. All right. I'll see y'all next Sunday at 6 p.m.